For thousands of years, there have been predictions as to when civilization will cease to exist. It is what we'll refer to as doomsday, and the doomsday clock has been in existence since 1947. There are various theories that have been floating around for years on how society believes this day will come. The environment, religion, and violence are the most common themes. The theory of the world experiencing a large-scale nuclear conflict, which would create a dystopia for those left on Earth, is not the craziest theory. We see it all the time in books, games, films, and TV shows. The doomsday clock has moved much closer to midnight, with scientists citing the failure of world leaders to address the pressing threat of nuclear conflict as the reason we are only 2 minutes from midnight. If we look back in the 20th century history, we can see why the threat of nuclear war is taken seriously by scientists. During World War II, atomic bombs were used for the first time in combat in the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, this being the inspiration for a lot of Japanese comics based around a nuclear holocaust. The United States were responsible for the detonation of weapons in early August 1945. These two events thankfully remain the only 2 times in the history of warfare that nuclear weaponry has been used. However, the world came close to nuclear war again in 1962, during the Cold War, with both the US and the Soviet Union competing in a nuclear arms race, both aiming for nuclear weapon supremacy. With both states in possession of stockpiles of weapons, and both aiming to be the only world superpower, this dangerously led to what is known today as the Cuban Missile Crisis. Throughout this turbulent period, the deterrence theory of mutually assured destruction was coined, this meaning that although both parties have enough weapons to obliterate one another, it is mutually agreed that full-scale use of the weapons by either opposing side would cause annihilation, therefore deterring either from using the weapons. Fast forward to 2018, 73 years since weapons of mass destruction have been used in combat, and technology has only advanced even more. Based off pop culture, the dystopia we could imagine the world would see if a full-scale nuclear war was to take place is one with very little survivors, potentially a desert wasteland, a place in which civilians don't trust the state, a possibility of a totalitarian government. Nuclear bombs release what is called ionizing radiation, which would cause devastating health effects for those who are left on Earth after a nuclear war. Although the threat of North Korea is still looming, we can only hope that post-apocalyptic fiction does not become our reality, as Earth would undoubtedly see a dystopian world if World War III were to break out.